Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be recapping the Compact House Patreon. So this is season 2 episode 1, and I think it is Nadia and Kayla confront each other. What really happened? This episode comes on with Kayla basically explaining everything that we already heard on live. So she was basically saying she felt some type of way about how her friends were treating her in episode 1, and she didn't appreciate them basically saying that she slept with Eli or was flirting with Kev. So that was it. So then we see Zay in his confessionals, and he's basically saying that Kayla had just left Nadia's house, and basically she came over to get a parking pass. She apparently didn't get that parking pass because Nadia had some expensive shoes or whatever where the parking pass was, I'm guessing, and so they didn't give it to her. Anyway, Kayla goes home, and Kayla immediately gets on live, and she starts talking about she pressed everybody at Nadia's house. Zay is confused because he's like, you came over here for a parking pass. You didn't come over here to squabble. So then the people at Nadia's house and Kayla, they got into it. So Zay is like, F that, let's go fight. So that's what they did. So then we see Nadia, and Nadia is basically saying that Kayla called stating that she was outside, so all the girls ran outside without alerting the boys. So once they got there and they seen that it was a lot of girls, they called the boys. So Eli is running out the house trying to find them, and they sent him to a gas station. Come to find out, they was not there. They was on the other side of Nadia's apartment building, so he had to run all the way back down. But he finally got there. So Keita said once they got there and they seen how many girls Kayla had, she felt outnumbered, so she wanted the boys to hurry up and get there. So Zay basically says that Kayla called and said she was outside. So they only seen Kayla's car, so they thought Kayla was one deep. She was by herself. But baby, they had another thing coming. Kayla wasn't going like that. I know that's right. So Nadia thought that Kayla was going to come one car deep as well. She seen that she had multiple people with her, and she was like, well, we had 2 cars too, but it wasn't like how Kayla had it. And it's just like, here go the hypocritical moments, but we're going to get into it. So Key felt like once they seen the multiple girls, it wasn't going to go how they thought it was going to go. And it's just like, how did y'all think it was going to go? So Eli said once him, Kev, and Red got over there, the girls was already trolling like, hey, Eli, can I have you? So Zay said once he seen how many girls it was, he was like, no shade, it was a lot of girls. He said, but they was outside of the car, antagonizing them, calling them PUSSY and stuff like that. He was like, he just couldn't take it no more. So him and Keita got out the car. Keita walks up to the girls like, oh, Nadia not fighting. So Kayla, homegirl, was like, oh, well, do you need that? So Keita said initially when they text Kayla or whatever, it was supposed to be Key and Kayla fighting. She said she didn't know that all them other people was coming because it wasn't supposed to be that. But my question to them is, why y'all ain't think she was bringing somebody? It's 6 of y'all, so I'm going to double that. Come on now, stop playing. Keita does say that all 16 of them girls, when they were standing there waiting, they kept calling for Nadia. She was like, it's too many of them to be fighting Nadia. And it's just like, you know that they were not trying to fight Nadia. They were calling Nadia's name so Nadia could get in the field with Kayla. But she knew that. Nadia feels like nobody should be catching a fade, but it is what it is. And it's just like, Nadia, what? The way you pop it on live, you don't think nobody gonna want to hit you in your mouth? But Nadia also says that the girls was like, Nadia Jocelyn, Nadia Jocelyn. Oh, I was just watching you, and now I'm right here with you. And she was like, on some fangirl type stuff. So Keita said, basically, her and Kayla homegirl started going back and forth. And Kayla homegirl eventually asked Keita, like, do you need that? So Keita told her to run up, and that's what she did, and they started going at it. So Nadia explains her side, and she said that Kayla's homegirl asked Keita, did she need that? And she was like, Keita gonna always want that. She was like, yeah, Keita gonna always need that. And it's just like, what about you? Now, with this fight, I did slow it down, so they finally ran up on each other. Now, in the beginning of the fight, I'm going to give it to Keita, because Keita was, tagging homegirl. Homegirl wasn't even really swinging. She was just more so on the wrestling side, trying to get Keita down. And so, in the middle of the fight, it was like a tie because they was hitting one another, back to back. And then you see both of them go down to the ground. They pulled one another down. But Keita got up first. Keita looked tired, but Keita swung the girl to the ground. She started dragging the girl by her hair, basically in between the cars, so the guys could basically break the fight up because she was tired and she didn't want the other girls to jump in. So yes, Keita won that fight overall. So Eli talks about one of the parts of the fight when one of the studs had grabbed him, basically telling him he couldn't do something, and then she pulled that thing out on him. So while everybody is trying to break the fight up, Keita won't let the girl hair go. Zay is steady yelling, beat that B. And I want y'all to keep that part in y'all mind. So Jocelyn says that basically she took Keita on the other side of the car so she could let the girl hair go. She said the girl got her 5 minutes of fame and she got her A beat. But she says it was a girl that was trying to mace Keita, And she said her and Miracle took the mace out of the girl's hand. Do y'all believe that? Y'all comment down below. But Nadia thought after that everything was over. She was like, until people started saying, come on, Nadia, fight Kayla. You got Keita yelling, who's next? You got Eli talking to the stud, talking about don't clutch no pole on him because it could get active. It's like y'all really showing y'all true colors for real on women. So you got Eli and the stud going at it. You guys, they standing here with his fist balled up. And it's just like the only man that I respect that's with them right now is Kev, because all he do is break stuff up and then he don't say nothing. Like, he quiet. He don't get involved with the girl stuff. And it's just like with Eli was cool at first, but him being with Nadia, it don't do him no justice. Y'all want to know who irritated me the most? Kayla. Because Nadia was outside of the car. I don't know what that picture was that y'all posted, but that girl was outside of the car. If you really wanted that girl, you could have snatched her ass up. So Nadia said while all the girls was calling her out, her friends was basically like, no, you're not fighting. You have too much to lose. We want you to sit pretty. And it's just like, what? Like, y'all really dumbing yourselves down for clout? Because at the end of the day, y'all should feel the same way about yourselves. Y'all should feel like y'all got a lot to lose, and y'all pretty too. Like, is y'all crazy? Y'all cool? So Kayla began to call Nadia out, and they basically told Kayla, Nadia wasn't fighting. Key was fighting for Nadia, so she was going to have to fight Key, and it's just like, why she get to select, and she don't? Get out of here. So Zay feels like that Kayla keeps calling Nadia out, but she should know that Nadia is not going to fight her. She was like, so Key's going to fight her. He said that Kayla said she wasn't fighting Key. He talking about he don't know what that was. It's the same thing that Nadia doing. She don't want to fight Key, and Nadia don't want to fight Kayla. It's the same exact thing. But y'all remember I said in the beginning of the video, the hypocritical moment. So Nadia had the nerve to say that Kayla was coming up with BS excuses because she was saying that she didn't want to fight Key because she's a stud. But yet you're doing the same. We gonna keep it moving. So Kayla then calls out AZ. And so Nadia is like, oh, well, AZ not ducking no fades, and she should have. But Keita is steady calling out Key, like, Key, go get that fade. Key, go get that fade. And Kayla already said she not fighting her. So how y'all gonna try to force somebody to fight somebody else? That's crazy. So Kayla is like, AZ, come on. So Zay's like, are you gonna take the fade or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? So I guess she said yes. This is another hypocritical moment. So AZ comes up, she takes her shoes off. So Zay says, and you better fade her ass because there's too much talking going on. And it's just like, you was never this girlfriend. But anyway, we're going to keep it moving. So Keita is telling Kayla friends to back up. Yet, all of them are walking toward Kayla. What the? Like, y'all, so I slowed it down. And so when they first started, their first hit, both of them connected with one another. So after that, it was just a whole bunch of missing. Both of them kept missing. And so then Keita and Key grabs AZ from the back, right? And so you can see Kayla still trying to hit, but you can see Keita trying to get involved. So Eli steps in and he pushes Keita back and he pushes Kayla homegirls back so they could keep doing them or whatever. So then I just see Zay knock Kayla down and put AZ on top. Now that's what you call karma, because Kayla was bragging about him doing that to them other girls, and now look. So while Kayla was down, AZ tried to stand over top of her, but Kayla's friend pushed the mess out of AZ. When I say she pushed AZ far, she went far. So girls, tell me why AZ was walking away and Kayla ran up and hit her in the back of the head or whatever, and grabbed her and really flipped her over. Like she took that girl for a ride. So then they wanted to break it up, of course. So they started trying to break it up, but Kayla would not turn that girl loose. So they was trying to grab her, and Zay talks about, oh, let her go before I get my sister. So it's clear as day that Zay is not happy with the results of what happened. He's yelling across the parking lot, so he had to give AZ his shirt or whatever. So basically, he's yelling across the parking lot, telling Kayla, like, she gotta run it again. He don't give a F, or she gonna run it with his sister. Like, he is really upset. And by his reaction, we all know that AZ did not win. And I must say, with all the odds against Kayla, she still came out on top, because Keita even got a free look off of Kayla. She tried to run over there, she hit Kayla in her face. That explains the whole brick thing, but that's another conversation. So my first time watching it, I thought Zay was saying that AZ and Kayla had to run it again, but what he's saying is that Kayla has to run it again with Key. So now he's upset that Kayla beat up AZ, so he wants somebody to beat up Kayla. So Nadia is standing there with her hands on her head talking about they're tripping because they're outnumbered. Zay is like, I don't care about no numbers. I just want to say this. You have to pay attention to people like this because they'll do you the same way. They're treating Kayla as if they were never her friend. Point blank, period. And if they'll do it to Kayla, they'll do it to anybody in the crew. Except for Nadia. So Kayla already made it clear that she was not fighting Key. So Kayla's homegirl, she was like, I'll fight her, let's go. Like, Kayla just fought. So no, she's not fighting again. I'll fight her. So they walking up, they both square up, and then Keita comes and she stops it. She's like, hold on, wait a minute. And so they're like, what now? Like, what's going on now? So Keita is stating, like, look, Key fights Kayla and I'll fight the other girl. And it's just like, y'all keep trying to use Key as a secret weapon and y'all don't even know how she really get down. Whole time y'all want to see Kayla down so bad, it's sickening. So because AZ didn't get the job done, they want Key to do it and it's not going down. So Key and them, they walk back to the car and she's coming to the camera talking about, well, they don't want to fight me. And that's a lie because the girl did want to fight you. You just wanted to fight Kayla because Kayla was saying she didn't want to fight you. And they wanted you to fight Kayla because they felt like you would be the secret weapon. And I don't even think so, y'all. So Kayla wants to run another round with AZ because she was like, we came 20 minutes away. Like, we're not just going to do one fight and that's it or whatever. So the girl is also standing there to fight Key. And Key's sitting in the car and Kayla just waiting, and so Keita gets out the car talking about ain't nobody fighting. No, ain't nobody else fighting unless it's Key and Kayla. And it's just like Kayla already fought. Why y'all trying to force that girl to fight? Y'all want to see her down, and because she's not down, y'all mad, and that's why y'all did what y'all did. So they kept coming up to the camera talking about, oh, Keita washed the homegirl, no shade. And it's like, you mad that you can't say that about Kayla. You mad you can't say Kayla got her ass whooped. So the girl was basically asking this Key coming to fight because she's ready to fight and get it over with. And so Zay is mad because Key is not moving. Keita's mad because Key is not moving. And so that's why Keita wrote that text, that story like, oh, I'm not going to keep fighting if I'm the only one fighting. So she mad because Key won't fight. And every time you turn around, Zay got his mouth in something pertaining to women. Like he's saying stuff to him. And it's just like, you're not a woman. So you need to stay in your lane. And it was a blessing that it was recorded that they had jumped Kayla like that. Even though nothing happened in the result of that, we know what type of man he is. He's not a man at all. Like, let's keep it 1,000. You was very upset of the result of everything because y'all felt like y'all was going to have the upper hand and y'all really didn't. Y'all didn't have the upper hand. Y'all really wanted Kayla to be down and she wasn't down. So what he did was he took his frustrations out on that stud. And Keita knew her friend couldn't fight, so she tried to put her up. But at the end of the day, what y'all jumping for? You should have squabbled with her. That's why you hit her with a brick, because y'all felt like y'all couldn't beat her. So that's when all of them got back in the car. And so that's when the trolling began. That's when they started taking the videos of Nadia sitting in her car and stuff like that. But it's like, Kayla, girl, I'm disappointed in you because you had ample enough time to grab that girl up and you didn't. So they're waiting to pull off when AZ starts telling Nadia, like, take me back to the house. I don't do this internet it's embarrassing. Like, she was ready to go. So Nadia claims when Miracle pulled off, Nadia was right behind it and the stud had came in front of Nadia's car. She said the stud realized that she wasn't stopping and the stud started clutching. So she called her brother and her brother got out the car with his, his pow-pow. And he was just holding it in his hand, just standing around looking stupid. So when they come back, it's Eli, Zay, and a brother. So Eli goes over there to the women. He's trying to talk to them. So Kayla is like, look, I'm tired of them running them. So the girl was basically asking this Key coming to fight because she's ready to fight and get it over with. And so Zay is mad because Key is not moving. Keita's mad because Key is not moving. And so that's why Keita wrote that text, that story like, oh, I'm not going to keep fighting if I'm the only one fighting. So she mad because Key won't fight. And every time you turn around, Zay got his mouth in something pertaining to women. Like he's saying stuff to him. And it's just like, you're not a woman. So you need to stay in your lane. And it was a blessing that it was recorded that they had jumped Kayla like that. Even though nothing happened in the result of that, we know what type of man he is. He's not a man.